Disabled Person Views Disabled Meter at part 79, Hawkeye. I've reviewed so many superhero things that at this point I actually like this genre now. Anywho, Hawkeye is hard of hearing, as is Jeremy Renner, who plays him, and it's really cool. First, because it's not the super crypt trope of, oh, one sense doesn't work, so now they have superpowers in a different one to make up for it, which always brings me joy to see. I also love it because superheroes are next to really loud explosions literally all the time, so this is the perfectly logical outcome given their line of work. But what I loved about this representation in particular is that Clint becoming hard of hearing is fairly new to him at the time of this series, and so he doesn't really have backup plans beyond his hearing aids. He knows a small handful of signs, but when his hearing aid breaks, he needs help to have a conversation with his son on the phone. But then we see that balanced off of Maya, who I talked about when I reviewed Echo, who's ingrained in deaf culture, and when she sees that he wears hearing aids, she unbinds his hands to give him the ability to communicate, even though he's her captive, and she's somewhat surprised that he doesn't communicate like she does, because not all deaf and hard of hearing people are interchangeable. Also, seeing two disabled superhero people fighting each other and both getting large amounts of screen time in a show where they're just people made me very teary-eyed. I also love how he clearly missed pieces of conversations because hearing aids aren't perfect. I loved how he moved Kate to be on the side of his good ear so he could hear her better, and also how easily helpful and accommodating Kate was to his needs without further question. It all just brought me so much joy to see. But my one critique is that the filming often cut off the sightlines for the ASL, so you couldn't always actually see the things they were saying, which is kind of a bummer, but they did fix this when they made Echo later, but it still bothered me. But otherwise, I really just love seeing superheroes who happen to be disabled, and that's just a part of who they are, and it's neither positive nor negative. It's just lovely.